Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child works hard for a living. And the child that is born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good and gay.
Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Rob Wieland. I am an author, game designer, and professional nerd. Tonight, I am the host of Theater of the Mind Players, your friendly neighborhood actual play show. This is the second tale that we are telling in the world of Vaesen, which was the book that was fastidiously gestured with by some of our players. It's by Free League, who has been on a roll as far as excellent designs, and I feel like at this point we're probably going to play every game that they have put out between the upcoming Twilight 2000, and I'm sure that Tawny does not want to play the One Ring second edition game that they're releasing.
Oh, I heard she hates Tolkien.
Tony's like, well, you don't have to come to that one, Sarah.
But she loves Teslas.
You're not going to show your dice tray?
I'm working on it. That's next.
So, anyway, Vaesen, this series is called A Wicked Midwinter, and it is about a group of people who have all had contact with the titular monsters, and that contact has given them the blessing and the curse of the sight, which allows them to see these creatures. And at the end of last session, they were recruited into a mysterious secret society called the Society, and by Linnea Elfeklint, and they've taken over Castle Gyllencreutz as sort of the headquarters of this monster hunting secret society. So we're very excited to dive into the next story of Vaesen. This one is actually one that we have pulled from the casebook that's available called The Wicked Secret and Other Stories. I'm telling you this up front because in the past when we have done pre-written adventures, we've had some of the people watching be like, oh, spoilers! Oh, no! So I wanted to give you fair warning that we're doing this a pre-built case, but I also feel that it's important to do these cases because sometimes people want to see, oh, well, how did you play it? Oh, that's interesting. You did this. We did this. We got a lot of feedback on the Last Things Last case that we did as our opener for our Delta Green series of people who were like, ooh, you did that, huh? So,
We always make great decisions.
so
Nobody tunes in for great
So
decisions.
let's introduce our table of disaster idiots. We're going to. That's not true. Like there's always this idea of like, my players ruined my beautiful script, and it's like, if you want a beautiful script, go be a playwright. Like the fun here is the interaction and seeing how you react and how I react and that's what I really enjoy about this.
So get over it. You know who you are.
It's a feature, not an extra, honestly.
So, let's go around the table. Introduce yourself, your role that you're playing, and your favorite moment from last session. I will go first to give everybody a chance to meditate upon these themes. My name is Rob Wieland. My pronouns are he, him. I am the game master for the evening, so I'll be playing all the other roles that are not the starring roles of this particular production. And I think my favorite moment from last session, and I'm going to probably take Tony's, was his rambling, like, "Hey, could I have some drugs, please, ma'am?" speech, which was entertaining and
impressive as hell.
entertaining, impressive, and also like heartbreaking, because it was just it really was funny to listen to, but also there was a part of your brain that was like, oh God, he's really desperate for this. That's really, really sad. So let's begin with our first mind player.
Hi, I'm Disaster Idiot number 1, Ronnie P. Thompson.
Disaster Captain, hello.
And I am playing Stabi Sundage, the writer. And my pronouns are she, hers, as are Stabi's. We just squeeze that in there at the last second because I remember. And I think my favorite bit from last time, I think the library bit with me and Papa Franz here were when we were back to back in the library being like, no reason at all, but would you want to maybe put your back to my back so that no reason, so that maybe we could just stand here together in the library
with our backs
no reason
for
though.
no reason. Yeah, that was very good.
It was
enjoyable. Fantastic. Like it's strange because like I very rarely get to see you guys play off of each other, other than like you swatting Ethan for making a dumb joke. I guess that's a prepayment, and so it was really, really cool to see you guys team up. Let's move on to our next mind player.
Hi, I'm Ethan Eichson Anderson, he, him, and I am playing Franz Bjorn. And I'm going to call Ditto.
Is that allowed?
It is now.
I'll allow it. Yeah.
Well,
that's the same thing I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That was actually mine.
It's a
too.
lot of fun.
Well, I think we get one Ditto. So Tony, you're on. You're
I got
checked.
some backups.
You're on your third
I got
check
the
down
Ditto.
at
You
this
gotta
point.
get the Dido.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have no idea.
That's a good question.
let's move on to our next mind player.
Hi, I am Sarah Babe, she, they, and I am playing Svetlana Mork. She is an occultist, and I think my favorite part of last session was the absolute amount of hatred that I had for Tawny's character. And like the
I
bonding.
believe it was mutual.
Yeah, I'm really digging it because I don't feel like we've ever like hated each other in a game before. And like I just really enjoyed kind of like playing off Jordan too. That was really kind of cool.
Well, Tawny also she's playing an obnoxious face character, and
It's
like
so fun.
it's it's a rare role for her in that role, because usually she plays kind of the steadfast,
We
like,
got this, you guys.
yeah, the steadfast, truthy person, and her character is clearly in this to write books about it that make her look awesome and everyone else look like
Flash my list super quick.
Let's move on to our next mind player.
Hello, I'm Jordan Fishburne, she, her, and I am playing Aelin Allborn, our doctor character, our old doctor character. My favorite moment from our last episode arc was turning it back on Stabby when she claimed to know so much about all the Vaesen stuff, and we were like, "Oh, great! So you'll go first."
Everyone
and the
loves to
look
hate
on
Stabby.
Tawny's face when we turned that back on her was great. And her what was my favorite. I liked that moment a lot. from Tawny.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Let's move on to our final mind player.
Hello, my name is Tony Cheek, he, him. I am playing Max Wallander. He is the private detective. I think my favorite moment from last session, I'll be selfish and say, was the moment when I very smartly did not turn my back to the
It was good.
butler as I exited the room.
The little dancey dance out the door with you guys
Yes.
down the hall.
He 100% would have clocked me.
Yeah.
Very Mr. Green moment.
Yeah.
So when we last left our, well, they're not investigators, seekers.
Intrepid adventurers.
I don't.
Society members.
Society
Thursday's
members.
children.
Is that that is right? So Thursday's children is another euphemism.
I was born on a Friday.
You had so I think today we begin with everyone kind of it's move-in day at the castle essentially. Like most of you are itinerant enough that yes, I will take a free castle to live in.
Yeah.
And well, let me ask you this: is anybody having to make any sort of? I think you might be the only person that has to like make arrangements to be like, well, I'm gonna be gone for a little bit.
I have to let my kids know that I'm gonna be not at my normal haunt, which is my like house above my clinic, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And give them my forwarding address and drop off the forwarding address at the post office and put a note on my door and all of this fun stuff from the town that I live in. But yeah.
I think I just need to I'll probably talk to the niece at my house and have them take care of my mother.
Should we then? Why don't we have these be the opening scenes of everybody making their like arrangements, whether it's talking with the, making those arrangements or like I'm carrying my stuff into the room that I want to be in. So let's start with Jordan's character.
Yeah.
So do we want to do a scene with your kids, or do we want to do a scene with your patient from last time?
It might be a good time to introduce my kids, maybe.
Okay, well, tell us about your kids, and I will figure out which one is the worst and have them show up.
I have two daughters, Astrid and Wilma, and let me write that down.
Were you just looking up names a minute ago?
Yep.
Is that what you were doing?
I sure was.
Nice.
Because I just made them up on the spot. And Astrid and Wilma. Wilma is the oldest, and she has a family of her own now too.
She's a Flintstone.
Whereas Astrid was the younger kid, very attached to the apron strings type of person that is more of like a spinster adult. So she hasn't really she has been creating her own life, but she hasn't created a family and all that kind of stuff.
So Astrid is probably the one who is more upset that you're leaving.
Yeah, probably. Well, it's kind of on the fence, right? Because Wilma has her family and her kids, so Grandma kind of moving away from her children is also hard. Whereas Astrid is kind of used to running her own life independently, even if I'm still a big part of her life too. So
Okay.
there's a couple different.
Well, do you have a preference on who you want to play the scene with?
Probably Astrid, maybe just because Wilma has more stuff going on, so that I don't want to necessarily have to tear her away from her kids as I tap Astrid to help me with these arrangements.
Okay. So I think Astrid comes to you at home as you're finishing packing.
Mm-hmm.
She brings, I think she brings like a, I don't know, like a travel cake, like basically like something like, "Good luck on your trip, Mom."
Aww.
But the cake's poisoned by emotion. Because she is kind of like. So what have you? Let me ask you this: what have you told her about the arrangements? Have you told her anything? Because maybe the scene is her being like, "So where are you going exactly?"
So it's a work conference, a long-term work conference where we're going to.
And she's like slicing the travel cake.
Yeah, we're going to learn new skills, and I've been a family practitioner for so long that it'll be really good to catch up on all of the new and most creative advances that we haven't had a chance to get articles on here. So I'm hoping to learn a lot, and hopefully, it'll be helpful and maybe get something a little bit more effective for the concussions that I'm seeing so frequently from our farmer friends.
So you're going to be gone for a week?
Well, I'm thinking more a month or two currently is what I'm thinking. That's why I hired the service to come in and clean every once in a while so that...
Oh, Mom, you didn't have to do that. I would have done that for you.
Darling, I know you're so busy. You have so much going on.
But I'm not too busy to come and, keep an eye on your business while you're away at this conference.
If that's all right, dear. I just didn't want to ask you to do anything that'll mess up your routine.
I guess... Mom... I don't want you... I don't want to send you off on this trip under false pretenses. So... Can you just be honest with me and tell me why you're going? I know how you get when you try, this kind of stuff may fool Wilma because Wilma is doing her own thing and she has kids and that's fine. Is this because you've found somebody?
Oh dear. Hell no.
For podcast listeners, Ethan was gesturing at himself.
In a very studly manner.
Aylin sits down next to Astrid and, takes her hand in between mine and says, "Darling, I know how hard it was after your father left. After he passed on. To be truthful, I jumped at the chance for this conference because it's been hard to be at the house without him. And this will be around other people in my field, and it'll be a nice distraction for a little while. And not to say that you or Wilma or the babies are not enough. That's not it at all. So please, I don't want you to think that. I just did not want you all to worry for me. That it's my job to worry about you." What bullshit does Jordan have to roll?
Go ahead and roll empathy and manipulation.
Okay.
Roll a guilt trip plus mom.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, as a mom, she gets +2 dice for that.
I think that's only 4 dice. Yeah. Not my strongest skill set, but had practice lying to my kids, I feel like.
Oh.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got a
you
6.
did.
I got a 6.
Well, I mean, based on how Dad left, she probably has had some,
Struggles.
well, no, some practice at lying at your kids.
Yeah, that too. What? I mean, what?
What happened to Dad? Cigarettes! He went for cigarettes.
He went out for milk and he never came back.
Okay, well, as long as it's only going to be a month.
Or 2. But that's the longest. That's the longest it'll take.
Well, I should have made another cake then, I guess.
Don't worry. You already made my favorite. So thank you, dear.
Well, here's the conferences, and she places her, the knives clink on the plate, and we cut to who wants to run their move-in scene next? Well, you already said you wanted to talk to the Nise.
Yeah.
How do you? I'm assuming you have to do some kind of contact, like leave a thing at a thing, and to get them to appear. What do you do?
I think I leave a sprig of mint and lavender at the hole in the wall for the Nise. How are we pronouncing it? Nisa?
Yep.
Nise? Okay. So I'll leave it at basically the door of the Nise.
Okay.
And I will then take a little glass bell that I have for him and ring it.
Okay. And there's a moment, and then you hear like and tiny footsteps, and the little hand reaching through the gap, and then the head peering out.
I'm like sitting cross-legged on the floor, just politely waiting for him.
What words do you have for me? And he starts chewing on the lavender.
Well, I was wondering if you could keep an eye on my mother for me.
Isn't that what I am already doing?
Well, I won't be here.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Castle Gyllencreutz. I've joined a society.
You need to be careful.
Okay.
Well, I've heard about this place from other Nisei.
Oh, what have you heard?
Not good things.
Oh no. I give him more lavender and mint while we're talking.
Are you trying to bribe me?
Yes.
Good. It's working.
Oh, good. It's weird there. There's not a Nisei in the castle.
That was on purpose.
Oh. There won't ever be one there?
Not so long as I can tell.
Oh. Well, that's sad.
Well, that's not surprising, given who the people are that live there, or that lived there. I don't know. You humans have this strange thing called time.
Yes, it is quite vexing.
But they didn't want us there.
What? But you're so lovely and helpful.
Not for what they're doing.
What are they
They
doing?
hate the Vaesen.
They hate them?
Yes. Do you hate the Vaesen?
Never. I just want to learn about you.
Well, be careful the lessons that you learn there, because I don't think that be careful of the lessons that you learn there, because the truths they teach may not be true.
Well, I know the Nisei are always good, except when they're bad.
What are these words good and bad? I don't understand them.
It's sort of like mean and nice. So like me giving you the lavender and mint is nice. Me saying you can't have any lavender or mint is mean.
Okay, I think I get it. So you want me to be nice to your mother?
If you could, please. I know it might be difficult.
I'll try.
Is there any way you can send me a message if you need me?
I'll try.
Okay.
Well, I guess I should be nice to you. Beware the sow.
Beware the sow?
And then he dwarf moonwalks back into the hall.
Close on. Thank you. Thank you so much for your help.
Who's our next scene here?
I could go.
I will say whoever picks the last scene will get the easy scene because you will get the summons from Elfeklint.
I know that we're about to do this really quick, but I do want to say I'm just really happy that you said true and false, and then good and bad, and then mean and nice, completely flipping the order of the things that they said. I just really
Oh, really?
appreciate that.
I didn't notice I was doing that. That's funny.
Okay, so Ethan, what are you doing?
For me, it's more going to the boarding house I was in, packing up my small gathering of things, neatly putting away the small medals and stuff that I've picked up, and then throwing them down the stairs to walk out the door. And just basically march my way, hitchhiking along the way to get back to the castle.
Okay.
Do you need me to pick you up on the way there?
If I'm hitchhiking and you pass.
Okay. Us old people have to stay together.
That's not what you said earlier.
Not like that.
well, maybe that's the thing is we actually she comes across you like as you're on the old town road with your thumb out.
Gonna take my horse.
That was intentional. Shut up.
Ride like sorry.
No, that's not
But it's old A, town A, road A.
Old town A,
Yeah.
road A.
A lot of umlauts. So you are making your way down one of the empty roads. And that's when the year has turned and we're heading into winter, and so you're walking on one of those empty, crisp days where you hear nothing, and after all the time that you spent in the city and all the time that you spent drilling and the rumble of field guns, there's a sense of calm that washes over you. Which is why when you start to feel a shudder, it puts you off a little bit. And when you feel it again, you can't help but think that it's footsteps. Massive footsteps. Like you scrabble for a puddle by the side of the road, and you're just kind of watching and trying to figure out, is it you? Is it real? And that's when you hear Ellen calling for you.
Beep beep. Do you need a ride?
Yes.
I was hoping you'd say that. You are walking alongside the road.
Actually, when you saw him, he was like huddled over a puddle.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you'd say that because
This is also
Not-
still probably horse and carriage
Yeah.
era.
Okay,
too, so-
okay.
I was like, beep,
Yeah.
beep.
I was thinking that too. I'm like,
She carried
Like,
a horn
I feel like
on her
we're
head.
Hey, baby,
we're gonna get a
I
lot
got
of letters
one.
on that morphine thing from last time. So
Yeah, that's fair. I do a little horn alert.
you make your horse go ahem.
I hope you haven't fallen, Franz. Are you all right?
I'm good. I can get up.
Do you need a mirror? You were looking pretty intently at that puddle.
I was seeing if I was a giant, or if the giant was coming, but it was
Oh.
just your horse.
All right then.
There's that scene from Jurassic Park with the walrus.
Elvis doesn't have quite as heavy footsteps, but come on in. And I invite you into the carriage
I get in.
deal.
All right, who wants to go second to last?
I was planning on stopping by my publishers just to let them know that I'm going out to research my next novel.
You said the last person's gonna get like a letter.
Basically, you'll get Alget will basically is going to say that Linnea wants to speak with somebody, and like
Okay.
you maybe being the only one at the castle. It's like, it's you, sir.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Unless you had other ideas that you.
I just thought I thought it might be a letter, so I was thinking like maybe I could write a letter to my mother saying I have a case, and then I get the letter when I go to the post office that it
Okay.
summons me. But if it's
I
not-
like that better
Okay.
actually. So let's do that. But first, so let's talk about your publisher.
Yes.
How sleazy are they?
Yes. I mean, I think they know it's all bullshit. But it.
But it sells.
It sells.
So I feel like it's a cramped building in probably not in Uppsala, but in another city, and it has like 3 different imprints on the door. There's Hidden Truth Publishing. There's a newspaper that's called the Daily News, and or perhaps even News of the Day. I don't know, whichever sounds classier.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also the kind of newspaper that has like they have their version of the Page 6 girl of oh well, Miss Fortinson walked through an unfortunate draft today, didn't she? You better be mindful that you don't end up like this poor young lady.
We've seen her ankles.
Yeah.
Symptom.
And so you walk in, and let's see. I think your publisher is. I'm gonna have to look up some Swedish names. Wait,
Isn't there a list in the book?
there is a list in the book.
Danny DeVito.
Janssen and Janssen.
Which
Uh,
Janssen are you?
Actually, Janssen Brothers.
Yeah, no,
Oh my god.
it is the Janssen brothers, because when the creditors go, they always go, "Oh yeah, my brother just took care of that." So he sent that.
I love it.
Jan Janssen, not Johan.
He comes from
Jan and Johan
Wisconsin.
Janssen.
But it's the same person.
Oh yeah, no, it's made up.
Well, Jan is short for Johan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they say,
No,
"Oh,
that's
it's
my
Jan."
brother. He's the
Oh,
one who
it's Jan.
handles the accounts. I'm just
I'm Jan. That's
Yeah.
Johan.
No, he has a mustache. I don't have a mustache.
Don't look in the drawer because there's a mustache in the drawer.
Yeah. Please tell me they're twins.
There's just one.
There's just one of them.
There is just one.
Yeah.
That was better. That's the best.
Jordan, were you not?
I was not.
Okay.
I was not. Thank
So-
you guys for explaining the joke. I appreciate it. It's way funnier now.
So you knock on the the inner office because there's like a secretary's desk. Nobody, he's not a secretary. He can't afford a secretary.
But the
And-
desk is there.
Yeah, but he, because you can see the light on in his office, and he's like, just one moment, I'm finishing a meeting.
Janssen, I know you're not in a meeting, dear.
No, I'm in a very important business. Oh, wait. Sunhag, that's you?
That's me.
All right, come on in.
Janssen, how do you do this day?
As you walk in, you see him closing the window that he was clearly
to
getting
climb
ready
out.
to climb out of.
I
You know-
Janssen and Janssen only takes one shot.
You know, Janssen, every time you do that, I get a little more worried that I maybe should go and sign with your competitors.
Ms. Sundhag.
I'm going
Darling.
to stop you right now and just let you know, remind you, dear, it's Sundage.
Sundhage.
Mm-hmm.
Stabby. Stop.
Are we on a first name basis, Janssen?
I think you know that you mean the world to me and my publishing empire.
Mm-hmm.
And while I may sometimes play fast and loose with other people, I would never, ever kill my golden goose or run out of my golden goose.
I mean, your window tells a different tale.
I
Each
didn't
time-
know. I didn't. Do you know there is a? I was just getting a flow
All right.
through here
Yes, it is
because
a
that
bit
stimulates
stuffy.
the
So-
business mind. You see,
The business mind.
the business mind.
You have one of those.
I have two. My brother and me founded this organization.
Yes, of course, your brother. Where is he today?
I think he's in the Cairo. There's a world map that on his wall that he always looks at before he says where his brother is.
Cairo
Yes.
today. Mm.
I think he's doing some research into some sort of strange Egyptian cult, like the Brotherhood of the Bloody Tongue or something really,
Well,
something
I'd love
like
to
that.
see his notes sometime.
Oh yes, next time he's here, I'll send them along.
I'll hold you to it.
Well, so you've got another manuscript for me?
Well, I'm letting you know that I'm taking a bit of time in the countryside. You see, I'm going to be doing some research.
How much time?
Well, I need to go and do some research, Janssen. Do you think I just come up with these things, such as the hair-raising horrors of the hopeful Hodag? These are all made up, you think?
Yes, I mean not made up, but yes, your consistency is one of the things that I love about you.
It all comes from the research.
Have I also
Janssen.
mentioned how much I love your hat?
It is a fine
It is the
hat.
finest hat that I have seen today.
Thank you. You've seen no one today but me, have you?
At least 3 people,
Okay.
and
all
you
right.
are top of that.
It's the hat.
It is.
It is. The countryside, where I'm going to research my next book. I'm still deciding on a title. But I still have a few letters left to play with here, as you're aware. So,
All right. Do I have to pay for this trip?
yes?
Per diem.
I would like just a small stipend, of course, to facilitate my...
Do you know
fair
how long
and very-
I have to send a telegram to Cairo and how much that's going to cost me?
I don't know what to say, Janssen. I have to do my research, or you won't get another novel out of me.
His brother's not the boss of you.
And now he's...
And truly, your brother is not the boss of you, is he?
And
He
now,
makes all of the business decisions? I thought there were 2 business minds here.
go ahead and give me a
Thank you, Jordan.
You're welcome. I like pulling that card on somebody who doesn't actually have a brother.
actually, you know what? Why don't we're actually, rather than roll for it, what we're going to do here to integrate this a little bit is in the process of going through a case, the seekers of the society take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what that means is you have, throughout the rest of the case, you have something that you can basically cash in for 2 extra dice when you need to make a roll.
Ooh.
So it's similar to the item, the signature item that we've seen in other games.
Mm-hmm.
But instead here it's a one-time +2 bonus, and as long as you can narratively justify it. So we could even have that be like, oh, I'm feeling very sprightly because of the cake that my daughter made for me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what happens is after like 5 minutes of grousing like a wounded rhino, he finally is like, all right, I will give you a small stipend out of my personal sash.
No,
And
Janssen.
and I have to...
Brad is miming opening a safe.
Slowly counting out each kroner.
Yeah,
One.
I like, and he's like, I was going to use this for a down payment, but it's and he's you know, he's guilty the entire time. It is of course bouncing off like a pebble against a brick wall. And he's like,
Janssen, you know what you can use for your next down payment? The delinquent delights of the drowned drugger.
all right. Well, hopefully the printing press that we have will last until then, because I'm just afraid that it'll set on fire and this
You know
whole...
those printing presses, they do like to spontaneously combust.
Well, I mean, do you know how
it's
much
the ink,
they're
of
worth
course.
do you know how much they are worth for insurance purposes? Never mind. So
Do tell.
cut to
And I'm so slimy.
I love the fact that like
So
he's
great.
the one. Well, in characterizing him, I was like, I kind of have to outdo Stabby,
Yeah.
and like the one person who would publish her bullshit is on more bullshit than she's on.
New favorite character.
Jan Janssen.
Yeah, Janssen.
And Johan Janssen, his brother.
Yeah,
In
both of
Cairo.
them.
Mhm.
Both of them. Definitely
No, I thought Jan was in Cairo, and Johan was. Is it?
Johan's in Cairo.
Are you sure?
Johan's always the brother. I think that isn't there. I think.
It changes.
I believe he was on the Orient Express. To Agatha Christieville.
Man. No, now I want to run. Anyway. If I ever get to play horror on the Orient Express, I'm making Jan Janssen. That's what I'm doing. So, Tony, tell us what your character is heading down to.
I think that he's in the post office, and I think that he's writing a letter to his mom.
Okay.
Basically, he's already got his bags packed. He doesn't want to see them. That's the whole point. So he's like, "Mother."
Well, do you want to do like the voiceover of your character's writing, but then we do the voiceover of what you're writing?
Sure. But, Mother, I am going to rehab. No.
Thank you for having me.
Mother.
Top shelf Foley work there, Cheek. Top shelf.
Mother, I have a big case. I'm super excited to go to to go there.
Scritch. There.
Please tell Dad to keep enjoying Satan's you-know-what. I will see you soon. Probably not, but maybe. Your son, Max. P.S.
Send heroin.
Send drugs.
And he folds it, and he folds it, and he folds it, puts it in the envelope, there, and hands the letter to the
Wait a minute, Mr. Post.
to the postal worker, and who nods and says, well, are you Mr. Wallander?
Oh, you've heard of me.
Yes, there's a return address here.
Oh,
Um,
is there a problem?
well, no. You're staying at Castle Gyllencreutz, yes?
I am on a big case.
Well, then the postman hands you a letter.
Oh.
Could you please pass that to Miss Elfeklint? I believe she's still the person in charge of the castle, yes?
Yes. True that. Yeah, I'll give it to her. Absolutely.
Thank you.
It would be my pleasure. Absolutely.
What do you think of that place? I've heard some strange stories about it over the years.
I think it's all made up.
Really? So there isn't a demon chained in the basement?
Well, I've been there once. There was some weird things with mirrors, but I think it was bullshit. So I'm going to see if I can discredit these rumors.
All right. Well, good luck, sir.
Yes, thank you.
So, do you take the letter to Elfeklint in the asylum, or do you read it first?
I think he definitely.
Or do you wait until
I think he's kind of an asshole. I think he's gonna hold it over like a flame to try to melt the glue and
Okay.
like open it and read it.
Okay, give me a...
It's easier to steam it.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Steam it. It starts on fire. Oh no!
Rob needs to take the evidence he sent us and chop up a bunch of words.
Rob's like, all right, I need to send you another letter then.
It's graduated into a puzzle game.
Did you start with the flame, but then singe it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, shit. It's the other thing. So give me a precision stealth roll.
Okay, precision plus nothing.
So for those of you at home,
You have
the freely games are D6 pool games where you add a skill plus a trait, and you're looking to hit a 6.
Didn't get one.
Didn't get one. So when you don't get one, because it's very hard to roll a 6, you can choose to push, which means you pick up the dice and roll them again, or you can just stay here and fail.
What happens if I push?
If you push, you have to mark a mental or a. Actually, since it's precision, I believe it's a physical condition.
Oh, I'm wounded. I got paper
Burn
cut.
yourself.
Burned.
Yeah, I got burned myself. Yeah.
Battered. Paper cut.
Oh.
No one can see it, y'all.
I got a
It's
2.
112.
112.
Oh,
That was the noise that Johnson made when he opened up his safe for you.
Yeah, would that be battered or wounded if I'm burnt?
Wounded?
Wounded.
Probably wounded.
Yeah.
It is a wound.
It's a flesh wound.
So what happens, I think, is that you've got it over the steam kettle and you're trying the thing, and then the butler, Frisk, just decloaks out of somewhere and is like,
Yeah.
"May I help you, sir?" And you go, "What?" And you put your hand right in the way of the steam.
Yeah, he's just like, good evening.
Yeah. Or making some tea, sir.
Yes, that's what I was doing. Absolutely. I have a letter here for Linnea
Elfeklint.
Elfeklint.
Ah, and that's the letter that you were making tea with, sir.
Yeah. I had a bag of loose leaf tea, and I kind of spilled it on the letter. I was trying to scoop it up with the letter, the envelope, dunk it in.
Perhaps, sir, if you wish to make tea, now that you have the services of a butler, that you can take advantage of the butler, sir.
Oh, you know what? I'm usually a man who likes to do things on his own.
You're
and,
also now a man who lives in a castle, sir.
That's a good point. Well made.
I buttle, sir.
I kind of want him to be Wadsworth, but also Wadsworth that gives 0 Fs.
Yeah.
Doesn't Wadsworth give 0 Fs?
Yeah.
But, like,
A little bit.
very clearly,
Okay,
like,
fair.
Like negative Fs.
yeah, maybe negative Fs.
F minus.
If that's a letter from Miss Elfeklint, perhaps we should inform the other members of the society, because I'm
Yes.
sure it has something to do with your duties toward that organization.
Yes, we will do that. But first, I'll have that tea.
Cut to the asylum, where Linnea is reading a slightly damp letter.
That was a quick post.
Oh, should we look at the thing you sent us?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Oh, I already did. I'm sorry.
Cheater.
Sorry, I don't really remember
Simlish?
what I read.
Yeah, with Sarah it's fine because like it goes in the eyes, out the ear.
Yeah, goldfish memory.
Yeah.
Just what were we talking
She
about?
actually opens the letter in front of you and just reads it out loud. And it's like, "Little Lily, you barely remember me, do you? The years have fluttered by like butterflies, and I shall soon turn 70. But who is counting? I wish the purpose of this letter was to renew our special connection, which I've missed dearly, and that I would like to see you discuss the strange events that occurred at Gyllencreutz so many... I write to
days
you regarding another matter.
But what was the
Lily, please don't interrupt. Lily, I need your help. The situation is very dire indeed, or I would not have had the nerve to contact you. I assume that you are still living in Uppsala. Surely you have not abandoned our beloved city. Anyway, I am currently located in Mala, a small fishing village in the south. My friends and I are staying at the Mall Seaside Hotel. You must come and help us, Lily. I can tell you no more than that for fear that someone else might read this letter. That it must be you of all people has to do with our special secret, our way of seeing things, which brought us together all those years ago. Bring all the weapons, tools, and storage items strange items you can find. Anything might prove useful. Until then, my friends and I are stuck at the hotel. This is a mess of our own making, but nevertheless, despite everything, I ask you for your help. Love, your hopefully dearest, Augo. Oh, Augo.
Ms. Elfeklint, if I may, who is this, as you say, Augo and et al., if you will?
Well,
Obviously
Augo...
members of the society.
Or members of
I was
society.
getting a different vibe, but let's allow Miss Elfeklint to respond.
Yes, she was a member of the society a long time ago, but she left because she wanted to seek her own answers for the mysteries that we are all part of.
Did that have anything to do with the incident so many somethings ago that she mentioned?
I don't know what you're talking about, dear.
All right.
What friends is she discussing that she's with?
Well, I'm assuming that she had found other travelers on the road, and perhaps whatever new society she had either formed or joined up with. I don't know. I haven't talked with her in many, many years.
What was the deer's full name? I only heard Augo.
That was her pet name. Olga is her proper name.
Olga.
Her full name is Olga Kraus.
Olga Kraus.
I think, if I remember... Oh, yes, of course! She said that she was going to try to actually learn magic, and last I heard that she might have joined a satanic cult or something.
Satanic. Lovely. Of course. What is the event that she was referring to, Ms. Elfeklint? If you don't mind, it just might give us some context when we do go and meet, Ms. Kraus.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Could I take a look at the letter? You know, I often find that looking at someone's handwriting is incredibly helpful for getting to know them.
This is my
Let
letter.
the lady have her secrets. We all have secrets. We shall keep them.
Franz, do you have secrets?
Nope.
What secrets do you have, Franz?
None, just like anyone else here.
Well, what's important is that she's a very dear friend, and I think that helping her would be an excellent first experience for the new members of the society.
Absolutely. Perhaps. And just for like a moment, we could
So I will make the
letter
arrangements.
with our eyes.
This sounds like a lovely time to start doing some research on the area of Mole. Maybe look at some news reports or scour the library in Gyllencreutz. As it seems like Linnea is quite dearly holding on to that letter.
Words do have power, and there were words written to her.
Certainly.
And
And
if you
we,
read-
though, will be responding to
Well
the
then.
words.
I'll make the arrangements, and I'm sure you will be able to stay at the same seaside hotel. It sounds lovely. Don't worry about paying for anything. We still have some money left in the society coffers, and I'll have Algot make the arrangements while you do your research and preparations.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Elfeklint.
It was lovely to see you all.
You as well.
And she wanders back.
I give her a little slice of travel cake that I brought with me.
Okay, so there are two bits of research that you find very easily. I have sent these pictures of these to your cell phones. One of them is an article from today's news about the town of Mal. Am I pronouncing that right? Umlaut O-L-L-E. Well, we're gonna go with Mool from here on out. Or Mull. Like, I feel like, yeah, Mull. And then the other thing that you find in the library is the occult heritage of the hill, which you find in your occult library, written by Brother Johan Trana. I'm going to read both of these now into the record while everyone else reads them. And from today's news. For the past 2 years, the remote fishing village of Mull in northwestern Skåne has been torn by conflict over the hotel that is open in the area. Tourists, mainly Danish and German, are encouraged to engage in mixed gender bathing at the beaches, something the locals are very much against. Our reporter Elias Ragnar has visited the so-called Heart of Sin in northern Europe, a small community at the tip of a rocky area known as the Hill in the south of Sweden. Here, Katarina Jansson runs a successful seaside hotel frequented by tourists from far away. Katarina tells us, quote, "Here on the hill, Europe's cultural and intellectual elite meet for refreshing baths and relaxing walks in a spectacular landscape. My business is about to lead this town into the next century." Many local representatives have less positive views of the hotel, especially Katarina's decision to let women and men frequent the same beaches at the same time. Chaplain Algot Kransvik describes it as a very unfortunate and ill-advised project that is causing strife among and promoting sinful lifestyles, while the fisherman's wife Anna Svensson says she is forced to see gentlemen in suspenders and ladies in corsets, which is a sad reminder of our mortality.
Golly.
In any case, your dear reporter Elias is enjoying a cold bath in the crisp waters of the North Sea, and the view on the hill is spectacular indeed. As for the hill, Brother Johan Trana says that comprehensive studies of the region have unearthed a folktale regarding the genesis of the mountain itself, where farmers and fishermen believe the hill to be the creation of and thoroughly imbued with supernatural energies. Supposedly, These forces cause the ground to rise from a flat clay like a volcanic rock from the sea. It's said that the caves and ravines where supernatural energies dwell, waiting for humans and animals to be used as vessels for their manifestation into the world. It is also said that a family blessed with the sight has watched over the hill for centuries to prevent its energies from taking physical form and indulging in all sorts of destructive urges. My personal studies failed to locate the family in question, on which the myth of the so-called hill man is based, or any form of Vaesen, but it did identify strong tendencies toward the sublime and abstract, and a strange aptitude for seeing the unseen and creating the uncreated. It seems to me that this part of the South should be strictly monitored. Perhaps a smaller headquarters should be established in the area. So we cut back to our heroes in the library for their short discussion before they leave.
I wonder if Katerina has any relation to that family referenced in Johan Trana's works.
It certainly would make sense.
She does run that hotel that we're supposed to investigate.
Can we look further into her family? Or is there a point in digging deeper in the library right now?
Well, what you can do is you can, if you want to take advantage, you can say, well, I'm doing this to get my advantage from this. Like we had talked about that your stipend was probably going to be your advantage, but basically what you have here is what the library yields as far as information.
I would like to take specific knowledge from the library in regard to like aquatic basin.
Okay.
Since we're going to be seaside.
Okay.
And you can use the free success on occult knowledge that our occult library provides us.
Yeah, y'all are okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then,
what is it, Rob?
Would that be an advantage?
That's just an advantage, which means you get plus 3 dice when it comes up in play.
Okay, so aquatic basin.
Yeah.
Aquatic basin 101.
If other people aren't taking advantage at the library, we can get to the travelogue section, and perhaps you can, if that might inspire some additional advantage. Linnea has helped plan your trip and brought tickets with her own money. She has written to Olga and told her to meet you in Mo. Early in the morning, you gather at Uppsala train station. The darkness lies heavy in the city, but the snow reflects the light from the station's gas lamps and illuminates the area around you. When the train rolls in and its cars are covered in snow, and upon boarding you find that the compartments are not even heated. The only refuge from the cold is the dining car, and virtually all the passengers gather there. A count by the name of Christian Graneth purchases the train's entire stock of punch and generously offers it free of charge. After a couple of hours, the mood turns merry, someone takes out an accordion, and people spontaneously start to dance between the tables, until the conductor finally has enough and silences the car by dropping a silver platter on the floor and announcing that music may only be played in the rear cars, where the animals are kept.
Oh, I guess people don't like lively youngsters any longer.
Wait, he said
Saga, don't be offended.
Oh my god, the cat just scared the hell out of me.
Saga, don't be offended. When he meant animals, he didn't mean you, Pupper.
I'm actually, since my Nisa said I should beware the sow, and he said there's animals kept in the rear train, whether he's just speaking about actual animals or not, I'm going to go there, because what if the sow is there?
Okay. There is no sow on the train.
Okay. I figured there was.
In the afternoon, you reach the town of Helsingborg in southern Sweden. It is getting dark, and there is a sleepy atmosphere here in the dining car. After disembarking at the Helsingborg train station, you learn that your connection to Höganäs is more than an hour late. You pass the time wandering through the empty streets of the city. Freezing gales sweep in from the sea and make their way through your clothes. Once you finally get moving, you're more than a little late. An odd steam locomotive pulls the cars along the coast, up the slopes of the hill, and finally arrives in Höganäs. From here you travel by stagecoach through the spectacular landscape, which you can barely glimpse through the impenetrable darkness. You reach the station south of mall, tired, hungry, and cold, and very late. The coachman drops you off at a place marked with a black painted post. Olga is nowhere to be seen, and soon your clothes are covered with a fast falling snow. So I think the only people who have not pulled advantage yet are Ethan and Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So are there any scenes that you want to declare here?
So we're like investigating?
Well, so the idea here is that at some point during the trip, you did something that will then affect the investigation part.
Okay, is there any way that I can, like, maybe...
Like, and it doesn't have to necessarily be, like, connected to the actual investigation part. So basically, like if you wanted to, even talk about how you maybe you're maybe a little hungover because you were one of the people who was really partying hard with the, like even something like that. As long as you can narratively connect it back later, you can cash in that advantage.
Maybe you overheard something from one of the partiers.
Mm-hmm. Or something like that.
Like
Sure.
they're like, this is a weird storm, and
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Okay. Ethan?
I have zero idea.
Okay.
Anticipation.
You're feeling particularly sprightly because you were dancing in the train car.
I'm
were
too
you
old for
looking
that
through
shit.
all your old medals and you had a flashback that kind of like, you're like, I need to be aware of this thing from Vaesen that they can do.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So
Great idea.
He's like the old man from Hook. It's snowing!
most of the village is still lit by gas lamp, except for the seaside boarding house at the edge of the seaside hotel, I should say, which is, you have to walk through town to get there, and so you scoop up your suitcases and other baggage. And as you stomp through the snow, I want everybody to make a observation roll. So that would be observation plus empathy.
Empathy.
I'm sorry. Investigation plus logic. I was wrong.
Nice.
That's more of a notice type roll.
I like that better. Ooh.
Are you kidding me?
So how many have one? How many have two?
Me.
So, Doctor, you're the one who first notices it in the snow.
Oh no.
The trail of red drops
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
that
Olga's dead.
slowly widens into a river and then a lake of blood, staunched on one side by a form lying in the snowbank, and somehow it seems like the second that you realize that there is a human lying there, the storm intensifies. What do you do?
Aylin's hands clutch very tightly to her cane. Wait. Everyone. Is that... And I start walking towards... to check,
As you do,
Yeah.
the gales of wind pick up.
Mhm.
And the body is slumped on its side. And there's a moment when a vicious gale comes out of nowhere and hits the body, causing it to roll onto its back. And the description matches the one that they gave, that Linnea gave you of Olga.
Oh no, dear.
And the whistling the strange whistling of the wind, it takes you a moment to realize where it's coming from. Her body, which has been torn open, and part of it has been very clearly eaten. And that is where we'll take our first act break.
The hillman has eyes.
We shall return with the second part of this story, so please join us then, won't you?
Congratulations, fellow human! You've reached the end of an exciting episode of Theater of the Mind Players. If you enjoyed our story, please like the video. If you want more games, subscribe to our channel. Attack the bell for notifications on new posts. If you liked the episode, please tell us what you enjoyed the most in the comments. If you loved the episode, consider joining our Patreon. You'll get access to special shows, session zeros, and help us determine what we play on the show. We love our friends of Pat Rayon, and we hope to see you there.